Hey people, this is Sharpino here. Welcome you guys to week 2 of the PMC League Modals. Today we're doing a team prep against our second round opponent. It is Coach Cloud MV, who is the coach of the Jersey Dwebbles. So today we're going to have a look at his team here, just so you guys know. It will be on the screen, but just to run through it quickly, we do have a Keldeo, a Landorus T, we have a Haxorus, a Zapdos, a Forretress, a Gardevoir, Hawlucha, Chinchino, Ninetales, Vileplume, and Mega Banette. A lot of powerful Pokemon on his team here, a lot of threats on his team to say the least. Definitely Keldeo and Landorus T being up there, Haxorus and Zapdos being up there. Definitely some scary Pokemon to say the least. But he does have some low-key threats like the Hawlucha and the Ninetales. They could be, Scarfmons, but you never know. This kind of team here does pack a lot of speed here, so it's going to be a bit hard to kind of prep when we have a pretty slow team. So let's have a look at the team that I've brought for us today to take on his team here. First off, we have Talonflame. Now, let me just preface this by saying that I had a good word with my friend the Bird. Yes, it rhymes, I'm dropping bars, but you know what? I had to talk to the Bird and he gave me some suggestions to actually go ahead and actually do some work against Mr. Jersey Dwebbles over here. So, he's actually had a lot of discussions about this. This is a certain move, this certain set for Talonflame, and I'm going to give it a go just to see how it works. So this is a Talonflame, it's Adamant Steel. But it has Gatlon Berry. Now, if you guys don't know what Gatlon Berry is a berry that, when your health is low, under a quarter I believe, your defense will increase by 1 stage. But there's another reason why it's a good berry. So let's run through its moves. It has Flare Blitz, Brave Bird, Roost, and the secret move that makes Gatlon Berry better, Natural Gift. Now, if you guys don't know what Natural Gift is, basically it is a physical move. Let me just quickly check it. I'm not too sure how its power works. Okay, so power and type depends on the user's berry. So it has no base power. But from what the Bird has told me, basically this move will actually give you an ice type physical attack. So considering your Talonflame will generally be a lot faster than a Landorus, except if it's Scarfed, we can go ahead and bring in this Natural Gift Gatlon Berry ice type hit, and it would just swing, even with it Intimidate, would swing that Landorus down from the sky. So it's definitely a good move there. It's really the only reason why we have Natural Gift on here. But we could also use it against the Zapdos if we really have to. There is quite a few ice type weaknesses on his team, but at the same time, it's really more so, like I said, for the Landorus T. So that's the first Pokemon that we have. Next up, we have a Mega Sableye, debuting this week. Now, we did bring it last week because the Mega Gardevoir will definitely be a big threat to say the least. So we have Mega Sableye here with Prankster, obviously, just to get that first turn initiative. We do have a different set though. Now, last season, I only ran one set, and that was the Dark Pulse Carmine setup kind of thing. But this one, I'm going to run a knockoff Shadow Sneak, Will-O-Wisp, and Recover. Now, the reason why I want to run knockoff and Shadow Sneak is because I want to scout for those Scarves. And what better Pokemon to scout with than a Mega Sableye? So with the knockoff, we can go ahead and take some physical hits because it's an impish nature. We can try to go ahead and scout for those choice Scarves. You can knock them off. If he gets initiative with Shadow Sneak as a priority move there, Will-O-Wisp, obviously to burn, and then Recover just to bulk up. So we can take on a lot of his physical threats like the Haxorus and the Landorus T and get initiative. We can probably fake out with the Will-O-Wisp and go for knockoffs, which gives us, again, it gives us more information on what kind of a set they are and some initiative as far as to see, basically we can either burn or knock off, and we have the best of both worlds. Now, because we have Mega Sableye and a Krookodile, I doubt he'll bring the Mega Banette, but you never know because having a Prankster Mega Banette can be a good Pokemon to have in your team. Now, I'm not too sure. I mean, he could bring it. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible for him to bring it, but I have a feeling he won't bring it just because we do have a lot of answers for it on our team here. So that's our Mega Sableye. Next up, we have the Celebi, another debut. A lot of my team, except for the Talonflame, basically all the other Pokemon except for Krookodiles. So Talonflame and Krookodile, they're the only two Pokemon I'm using from last week, and I'm bringing them in this week, and I'll explain Krookodiles as we go along. But today we've got Celebi, Leftovers, Natural Cure, it has Substitute, Carmine, Baton Pass, and Psychic. So this is going to be our subset. It's Bold Natured, so I'm training it kind of like a Suicune, but it's a little bit different because we can actually pass on that special defense. Now, this can work both ways. Now, we could use it to kind of make Celebi indestructible. The only problem is, of course, it's being a bug weakness, so I can definitely see him bringing some U-turns on his Pokemon to kind of answer Celebi, you know, if he expects him to bring it. But Carmine plus Baton Pass, I can actually pass it on to Pokemon like Dragalge. I could even pass it on to Pokemon like Krookodiles, not necessarily for the special attack, but just for like special defensive boosts. So basically, it would just make my Pokemon a bit more tougher. So this can work one of both ways. I can use it for Celebi, I can use it for itself, I can use it for Dragalge, or I can use it to just pass on a special defensive boost for another Pokemon, which, like I said, a lot of my teams are pretty bulky, like Mega Sableye and Krookodile can definitely work with it, and even Talonflame as well. So it can be a number of ways we can make Carmine Baton Pass work for Celebi, and even pass on a substitute, which actually would be a lot better, give or take the situation. So that's our next Pokemon. Next we have the Swallow! No, worked offline, what the hell? Okay, I'm sorry about that, that's never happened before. Basically we've got Swallow here, Swallow, Toxic of Guts, you know, standard set here with Facade, Brave Bird, Quick Attack, and Defog. Now, the reason why I'm running a Jolly set over over an Adamant set is because I noticed a lot of the Pokemon on his team do have high speed. And just so I could quickly run through it with you, I've made a few notes on it over here, let me just have a look. Okay, so Keldea's base speed is 108, Zapdos and Ninetales base speed is 100, and Hawlucha is probably the most, I would say the fastest, having a base speed of 118. Now, on the off chance he does bring the Hawlucha and I need an answer except for Talonflame, I do have the Swallow as an option. Now, you guys might be wondering why I don't pack Protect. But this is because we actually need a Defogger. Now, having a look at his team here, Landorus can definitely be a a bulky mon where he could try to bring in rocks. I'm just having a look at his team here. What other Pokemon could bring rocks in his team here? I'm not really seeing anything else that could bring rocks. Oh, the Fortress, sorry. So we have the Landorus team, the Fortress could definitely bring in rocks, and even if he wants to bring in Fortress, get the spikes. We do have that initiative, but I do know, and I've seen Cloud use this in the last season. Now, Fortress does get access to moves like Revenge, and does get access to moves like Counter. So we have to be careful, because that was a bit of an eye-opener. We have to be careful when it comes to scouting for that, because if we do run into one of those counters or those revenges, they can be catastrophic, especially when we do have some fine weaknesses on the team, especially with things like on my team, like, you know, the Krookodile, maybe not so much, I'd probably say that's the only thing, but even if we were to go Swallow against, say, the Fortress, I want to make sure that we're able to take it out, because I know that a Brave Bird, even with Guts, I'm pretty sure a fully defensive Fortress will actually live that. So I'm pretty sure that it will live, but we're going to try to work things around. And we do have Defog, so if he wants to swap out, we do have the option to Defog. Now, it does add another electric weakness. Yes, I know, it does add another rock weakness, but we do have Krookodile and Dragalge to kind of answer for those electrical weaknesses. Now, next we do have the Krookodile. Krookodile packing the Expert Belt. No, that's wrong. We're doing the leftovers on this set here, because it's going to be a different set. So we're going to bring a Krookodile with leftovers, Intimidate, and it has Earthquake Crunch, Aqua Tail, and Bulk Up. So, Mr. Vert here, this is another one of his suggestions. Basically, he's saying that Bulk Up will help you take on a lot of the physical threats, especially things like the Chino, the, I wouldn't say Keldea, but things like Landorus, it would definitely wall for days. And having things like Bulk Up will definitely make you able to dish out hits and to take those hits as well. Even the Haxorus, that might be a bit of the biggest issue on the team here. The Krookodile here would definitely be able to answer it, especially if we do have the Bulk Ups. That could definitely help out. So we've got Earthquake Crunch, Aqua Tail, and Bulk Up. So the Aqua Tail is for a lot of the mons in his team. So having a look at his team here, it's good for Landorus, it's good for the Ninetales, and I guess that's pretty much it. It's just an extra initiative move, you know. But with Ninetales having Drought, I doubt I would even go for Aqua Tail, but I think it's just more so for the Landorus. I was going to teach you Ice Fang, but it turns out that doesn't get access to Ice Fang. It only gets access to Fire Fang and Thunder Fang, but no Ice Fang. So a little bit of a bummer, you know, it could have actually worked out pretty well if we could get Ice Fang, but you know what, it is what it is. And then the final Pokemon we have is Dragalge with the Black Sludge adaptability, Draco Meteor, Sludge Wave, Thunderbolt, and Toxic Spikes. Now, I have noticed on his team that he only has Zapdos and Fortress as his answers to hazards. Now, if we can get Toxic Spikes out there, we could definitely do a lot of work against his team here, especially because a lot of his team do hit the ground. You know, Keldeo, Haxorus, Fortress, Gardevoir. Okay, you can't even poison Fortress. But certain moves, the only thing is, if he brings the Volplume, he can definitely put a dent in with the the toxic spikes. But basically, the poison will put all these Pokemon on timer. So I would like to see, especially if he brings things like a Life Orb Haxorus, it would just add more fuel to the fire as far as basically just getting all the Pokemon on timers. And just one less thing I have to worry about. So if he tries to predict a Draco Meteor or a Sludge Wave, he has a Gardevoir or something like that, and he brings a Fortress, we can just go for Toxic Spikes. So his only way to actually get rid of this is he spins it or he brings a Volplume. So you'd have to bring Volplume to get rid of it, or he has to defog it, or what have you. So that's going to be our team for this week. Hopefully we do a lot better than we did in the first week, where we got destroyed 5-0 like we did in Season 1. I can only hope to do well, and with your support, I'm pretty sure, even if I lose this one, like I said, this is just a fun league. I do care, but you know what? It's a fun league. We're all here to have fun, so we hopefully don't try to take ourselves too seriously. And stay tuned tomorrow for the Wi-Fi battle, and fingers crossed we can cinch our first win in week 2. So until the next time I see you guys, stay safe, stay sharp, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Later! Something like that, and he brings a Fortress, we can just go for Toxic Spikes. So his only way to actually get rid of this is he spins it or he brings a Volplume. So you'd have to bring Volplume to get rid of it, or he has to defog it, or what have you. So that's going to be our team for this week. Hopefully we do a lot better than we did in the first week, where we got destroyed 5-0 like we did in Season 1. I can only hope to do well, and with your support, I'm pretty sure, even if I lose this one, like I said, this is just a fun league. I do care, but you know what? It's a fun league. We're all here to have fun, so we hopefully don't try to take ourselves too seriously. And stay tuned tomorrow for the Wi-Fi battle, and fingers crossed we can cinch our first win in week 2. So until the next time I see you guys, stay safe, stay sharp, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Later!